Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into one powerful source.
Yeah, a deep reflection centered on Psalm 82.
Exactly. And our mission, really, is to pull out the key insights, about justice, what power really means, and maybe most importantly, where we fit into a world that, well, often seems to forget the vulnerable.
It's a crucial question.
So we're drawing from Divine Justice for the Vulnerable, Psalm 82 Reflection, and we're really zeroing in on Psalm 82, verses 1 to 8.
It's a short passage, but packed.
Totally. Get ready, because it starts with this incredible divine courtroom scene. It might just challenge how you think about influence and, well, being held accountable.
It definitely sets a dramatic stage.
Okay, let's unpack this image first. Picture it. A courtroom, but divine. God himself is presiding.
Right.
But he's not off somewhere distant. He's right there in the midst of the gods.
Which sounds a bit strange at first, perhaps.
It does. Psalm 82 kicks off, God takes his place in the divine council. He holds judgment in the midst of the gods. It's just such a vivid picture. A bit unsettling, maybe.
Well, what's fascinating, and the reflection points this out, is who these gods actually are. They're not, other deities.
Okay, so who are they then?
They're the powerful figures on earth. Rulers, leaders, anyone with real influence and decision-making authority.
Ah, okay, so human leaders.
Yes, but calling them gods here is significant. It sort of implies they have this delegated authority, almost a sacred trust from God himself.
So it makes their failure even worse.
Exactly. It means God, the real judge, the true sovereign, is essentially putting his own appointed authorities on trial for misusing that trust.
And wow, he doesn't mince words. The psalm just slams right into it with this rebuke. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked?
It's incredibly direct.
Yeah, that's not just friendly advice. It feels like a cosmic indictment, right? A direct hit on their corruption, their misuse of power.
And it really lays bare the core failure God is pointing to. This deep neglect, the abandonment of the most vulnerable people in society.
It seems like such a timeless problem.
It really does. It highlights that tendency for power to protect itself, to look after its own interests, often at the expense of those who can't speak up for themselves.
But God's focus is different.
Completely. It's laser focused on the weak, the needy. And, well, it makes you think, if these high and mighty rulers were held to this standard.
What does that mean for the rest of us, even in our smaller circles of influence?
Precisely. What's our responsibility?
So, after that intense rebuke, you might expect some complicated solution. But then you get verses 3 and 4, and they're so active.
Very action-oriented.
Give justice to the weak and the fatherless. Maintain the right of the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked.
Look at those verbs. Give, maintain, rescue, deliver.
Yeah. There's no wiggle room there, is there? It's urgent. It's a demand for action.
And that's, I think, the really stunning part. God doesn't just see the weak from afar.
No.
He actively sees them. And even more amazing, he basically calls on us, anyone with any influence, any capacity at all, to act for them, to be his agents in a way.
So it's not just for kings and presidents.
Not at all. It feels like a universal call. If you can act, you should act. It's a divine mandate.
Okay, but then what happens if they don't? If people ignore this? Verse 5 is pretty chilling.
It is. It describes those rulers as having neither knowledge nor understanding.
They're just walking in darkness.
Right. And the consequence, all the foundations of the earth are shaken.
That line always gets me. It's not just saying injustice is bad or immoral.
No, it's saying it destabilizes everything.
Like literally shakes the foundations of society itself. That injustice isn't just wrong, it's cosmically disruptive.
That's a great way to put it. It suggests justice is absolutely foundational to how the world is meant to operate, not just a nice idea. And then, just in case these powerful figures start getting too comfortable, despite being called gods in that representative sense.
Yeah.
Verses 6 and 7 drop this reality check. I said, "Your gods, sons of the Most High, all of you, nevertheless, like men you shall die and fall like any prince."
Talk about bringing them back down to earth.
It's a stark reminder, isn't it? No matter how high they climb, they're still mortal. They will die, and they are accountable to the ultimate judge.
So that power, that title, it's temporary.
Fleeting. And it doesn't shield them from God's judgment.
Okay, so this ancient psalm, it's not just history. This is where the deep dive really hits home, I think. What does this mean for us right now?
Exactly. How do we take these powerful words and apply them?
It feels like a call to some serious personal reflection.
It really does. The source material suggests some practical ways to think about it. Like, if you do have some influence, and most of us do, in some sphere.
Even if it feels small, like family or work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even small spheres matter. The question is, how are you using that influence? Is it with humility? Is it aimed at justice?
And what if you feel like you don't have power? If you feel weak yourself?
Then the psalm points upwards. Remember the call to cry out to the one who judges everyone, the one who does have the ultimate power.
That's powerful too.
And it emphasizes that God's justice isn't some cold, abstract thing. It's personal. It's active. The psalm paints it as deeply compassionate.
So maybe the question for you listening is, are you using your voice? Are you speaking up for people who maybe don't have one?
Mm-hmm.
Where is God maybe nudging you, prompting you to act with more justice, more mercy, right where you are?
And to take that just one step further into actual action. Who around you right now might need someone to stand up for them? Who needs support? Who just needs compassion?
It's about more than just agreeing with the idea of justice.
Right. How can you actually reflect God's justice in your relationships, day to day, at your job, in your community? It's about living it out.
It really boils down to this powerful invitation, doesn't it? To live today as someone who follows the judge of all the earth.
That sums it up beautifully.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, Psalm 82, it shows us a God who cares deeply about defending the vulnerable.
Passionately invested, yeah.
And holds power accountable. But maybe the biggest takeaway is that he calls us, ordinary people, to join in that work.
Yes, he does. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on as you go about your day.
Okay.
Consider this. Maybe seeking justice, providing justice for the weak, isn't only the right thing to do morally. Maybe, as Psalm 82 seems to suggest, it's actually essential for aligning ourselves with the fundamental way the world was designed to run by the ultimate judge.
Wow. That's something to really ponder, aligning with the foundational order of things.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. Well, keep those insights with you. We hope you'll explore what they mean in your own context. Until next time, keep diving deep.